Welcome back everyone to another Coach Blaker's video. Today we're going to be talking about how to not throw. Okay, so this is something that all ELOs do, whether you're high ELO, low ELO, sometimes you just end up throwing the games, and I want to discuss how to not throw the game. Okay, so I actually was losing this game like hard. We were losing hard, but they threw. And I want to use that example as a way to teach you how to not throw so you don't end up in the same situation. Before we get started, if you guys are interested in coaching, CoachBlaker.com is where you want to go. Link description below. I'm actually offering a free, like a free little test trial coaching. I don't know how long it's going to stay. I'm going to see if you guys actually like that. But basically, it's for people that don't really know if they want coaching and they're kind of on the fence. Sometimes I deal with people like that, and I know what it's like to be that person. So if you feel like you're on the fence, you're not really sure if coaching's for you, you can go ahead and book a test trial on my site, CoachBlaker.com. And, you can go ahead and go about that. And if it does benefit you, obviously, feel free to come back. If it doesn't benefit you, you get the experience and, you still, get something out of it. So I highly recommend those of you that are on the fence and are really serious about climbing to do that. If you're not serious about climbing, then I wouldn't bother doing it. It's not going to benefit you at all. So you really got to be serious about climbing. So anyway, long intro, right? Let's get into the video here. CoachBlaker.com is where you want to go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So let's just see kind of what was going on. Now, this is not going to be, now I am jungling, but this isn't the jungler's perspective. I'm just going to be showing pretty much what happened and why they ended up throwing in the first place. Like I said, it's a teaching moment. It has nothing to do with jungle. It's all roles. And this is just a way for you guys to really understand what's going on. So we can kind of just fast forward here. And we're going to be following Shaco because Shaco did a good job by getting his team to lead. He's a 1 million point Shaco. And this is a platinum game, by the way. So that's the ELO. But he's a 1 million point Shaco. I mean, I'm not saying he's good or bad. I'm just saying he got his team to lead, which is what he's supposed to do. Now, from then on that point, obviously, things took a turn. So we're going to go ahead and see what's going on. And we're going to see just why, as a team, they ended up throwing. So right now, we have a Zeri support. I didn't even notice that or I would have dodged. But we have a Zeri support. Mid gets ganked, overshoved, right? Bot gets ganked, like he's just running through all the lanes. He's 3-0 right now. The game is going pretty well in this man's favor, if I do say so myself. And so, again, we're not really doing much. It's 1-4. Again, he ganks bot. Draven does something, but like they just die over and over and over. And this isn't to BM anybody. This isn't to make anybody seem like they suck. This is not about my bot lane inting, anything like that. This is literally about how they threw a lead. It's nothing about carrying people that are inting or anything like that. Although that did happen. It's not about anything. It's nothing about that. So their bot lane is 3-0. He is 4-1. He just died on accident because Victor actually shot a laser over the wall. Gangplank ended up dying as well. You see, I'm kind of not really doing anything either, so it's 3-9. People just keep dying over and over. Double kill given to Ashe down there. So let's kind of just go over kind of the mistake here. Now, obviously, when you have a lead, the one thing that you want to do is make sure you secure objectives, right? Now, if you're a bot laner, you obviously can't do this. The support can. The support needs to be like, hey, let's go ahead and roam, and let's go ahead and try to get this Rift Herald. Because you're fed, let's do it. As a support, if you can manage to pull that off, you're golden. The reason why I even started this Rift Herald was because they called for a dragon. And it is a trade for objectives, right? So it's not too bad. But if you're hard winning bot lane, you need to make sure that you come up here and do this Rift Herald because, obviously top is not hard winning. It's just kind of stalemating, right? You have to transition the lead elsewhere. As an ADC, obviously you're not getting out of lane ASAP, right? You can roam, but you got to time it really, really well. Support, you can leave. Mid lane obviously go, and then top lane obviously can go, right? If your jungler is super, super fed, mid laner is even, top is even, and then the enemy jungler is not even fed or anything like that, and then the support rotates, like, bro, that's a free Rift Herald, right? So number one is just make sure you're getting all the objectives, not just dragon and you trade Rift, not just trade Rift for dragon. You got to try to get all the objectives. Do your best to get all the objectives. Try to not have them sneak up something out of them from under your nose. That's the big part about it. Gangplank starts dying, I think. Look, now the bar decides to roam, and again, that's why I said it should have happened earlier so that they could have gotten the Rift Herald, so that we couldn't have gotten the Rift Herald, right? The way to win a game is to bleed the enemy out. Take everything. Make sure that they can't do anything. So even right here, right, bot lane is 3-0. This is where we start asking to go inside the enemy jungle and take some stuff, right? Mid laner, the same thing. Oh, my jungle's super fed. I'm playing Anivia. Let me shove in real quick and go force an invade. Take some camps, right? Literally, it's huge as you do that. As any role, if you are ahead, you need to make sure that the enemy can't get anything at all. So that Rift Herald drop got me gold, obviously, but it's just me. So like that is, it's nothing really too big. They did kind of mess up here. We got 3 kills out of this because, you know, they wanted to kill me. Nothing to do with anything other than just making a mistake. Obviously, when you have a lead, don't make a mistake. Very, very simple, very plain. Nothing to really talk about there. Try to minimize the mistakes that you have. The main thing that I want to emphasize is to always, always, always try to bleed out your opponent. So, again, we ended up dying, right? Our bot lane's just, I don't know, man. It was wild. And the next thing that we do is we go mid. Now, is this bleeding out our opponent? Not really. You know, we're just kind of hanging around mid, soaking experience all together. Like, it's not really bleeding out the opponent. What we should be doing is setting up for drags, right? The Shaco should be setting up for drags. People should be pinging the drags. Nobody pinged the dragon was coming up on their team. I was pinging it 50 seconds ahead, 44 seconds ahead. Like, nothing is being pinged here. So we are, you know, like I said, their mindset isn't there to bleed out the opponent. I'm getting free camps on the enemy team. Dragon gets pinged by them at 23 seconds, but obviously it's going to take a second for them to rotate. I think we ended up getting it, yeah? Yeah, we ended up forcing it. You know, the mistake made mid caused the support to back right here. There was a fight and a mistake made mid so that they were forced to back. This fight could have happened at Dragon, and none of this would have happened. They could have fought with their Fed AD carry, they could have fought with their Fed mid laner, and they could have fought with their Fed jungler, and that wouldn't have been a fight that we would be able to win. But because of that mistake was made, Bard was forced to leave. Again, it's just about mistakes. It's about lack of rotations. It's about bleeding the enemy out. Right now, the main thing on everybody's mind is I want kills, 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 and it's eventually costing them because they're not bleeding anyone out. Again, I pick up more kills. Why? Because everybody keeps making mistakes. Again, it's huge to not make mistakes. You need to minimize those, but also you need to make sure that you are bleeding them out. I'm saying it over and over because it's super, super important. Right now, they should take that rift. Why? You need to bleed out. Take the rift. Go, 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 go. Right? Zeri's dead. Everybody's full HP. Udyr has to back because he just got free kills. Like, this is the moment where you get the rift. What happens? We go back bot. Right? Mid laner's farming mid. Jungle gets the crab and like, I'm out. Right? I'm just taking it. It's like, let's go. It's free. I'm too focused on getting kills. Again, this has nothing to do with one single player's play. It's not Shaco through. It's not Ashe through. It's not Bard through. It's a collective throw. Nobody is prioritizing these things. And because I have such a knack for macro, you know, playing Udyr, I'm not like an Udyr one trick, I guess you could say. But playing Udyr growing up in League is all I did. And because the champ is so simple, you have to think about ways to win the game on another level. It's not like, oh, my champ can win the game for me. It's like I have to think about little things like this. And taking objectives is one of them. Shyvana is the same way. Master Yi's the same way. Like, these are champions that, because they're so simple, they have to play in a specific way to get their lead. And the Shaco's not used to that, right? This is the type of person who's only used to getting leads because they can go invisible. Ashe type of person maybe who probably only used to getting leads because they can ult across the map. And Nivea's, you know, broke. I hate that champ. Again, another mistake happening here. We actually end up dying personally. Well, we do, like I do. But another mistake here. We made a mistake as well, but I was able to pick up another kill. Dragon's coming up in a few seconds here. It's coming up in 45 seconds. So what do we do? What did we talk about? Bleed the enemy out. So this should be prepped for. Look who's top. When Dragon's spawning. Right? Again, you should be ready to bleed out the opponent. You should be ready to get this. Now they're forced to fight us for it when they could have actually been here and just zoned us off of it. Of course, I'm not missing no smite against no Shaco, and we get it for free, and then we run through, right? All my time is used efficiently. It's used for farming. It's used for calling objectives. It's used for sneaking objectives. Like, I've been getting things that I shouldn't have been getting because they were already so ahead as a team. But they don't work together as a team to get things. So it's super, super easy for me to call things. It's super, super easy for me to get things. And I would do this as AD carry. I would do this as mid lane. I would do this at top lane. Again, it's just all about what are you letting us get? Okay, you're letting us get free camps top. You're letting us get free camps bot. You're letting us get dragons. You're letting us get crabs. Like, these things add up throughout the game. And so now we're sitting at a 1-10 Zeri and a 1-7 Draven. Our bot is doing horrible right now. But I made sure that our mid and top was doing all right. Riven was kind of doing her own thing, but Victor was playing with me pretty much exclusively, thankfully. So at this point, it's kind of rough because the goal tipped in our favor. So how would they get their lead back? Again, if we don't do that, if we don't bleed them out, but I'm not a platinum player, right? So I promise if you give me that little inch, I'm going to take a mile, which is what I did, right? I'm not letting you, I'm going to bleed you out. I'm not letting you get your thing. Look, I'm taking camps. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I'll do it with AD carry. I'll do it with mid. It's the same concept. I'm taking camps. I'm taking crabs. I'm taking everything from you so you have nothing to bounce back with. I was kind of pissed she didn't get this kill with the R. She was like trying to hold it to get a double kill or some shit. I was really tilted, but you know. Riven players. So, again, you know, it's not really worth my time. As I said, you don't want to make a mistake, right? So I'm just chilling. I'm getting more farm. I'm just doing, you know, playing the map. And again, I would do it as an AD carry or a mid laner or a top laner. As a support, you don't really have the option to just take the CS. So what you would do is you would ping someone to get the CS. But again, look, I'm preparing for Dragon. I'm already ready, dude. I'm pinging that thing 33 seconds in. Look, their team is a little bit late. Our team is a little late too. And I know this, our team is a little late. And what did I say? I said, you don't want to make mistakes. You want to minimize it. You want to try to bleed him out. Well, this would be a mistake. We don't have Victor, and he has no teleport. So the best thing I'm going to try to do is shove out mid so that they rotate and give us an opening. They did not rotate, and they just got dragged. So I was like, damn, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is. Again, I'm just going to push mid here while our team's just kind of monkeying around. Because remember, it's all about bleeding someone out. It's all about really taking the advantage that you can take anyway. Also, can we talk about how much damage Gangplank does, true damage? Like, can we just talk about how much damage every champ does, true damage wise? Like, think about the true damage champions. Why do they do so much? Really? This dude just pulled a 1k, a 1k true damage from just his passive. He smacked me with his passive and did 1k damage. 1k! Actually, it was more than that. It was like 1200. I was triggered. But it was what? And I was shielding too. So you know he probably did 15. I'm just saying it's a little ridiculous, right? How all your true damage champs just do so much true damage. It makes no sense. I'm getting ulted by Garen for 1700 and it shouldn't happen. I'm frustrated. All I'm going to say. So I did die. It was a mistake. But, you know, we bounced back. So next thing is on our mind is, again, that Baron. We don't want to make mistakes. We don't want to look for bad fights. I see Ashe already out of position, so I run her ass down quick. I ghost. Clapper. Now, how did that happen? Because she was in the wrong position. Remember, it's all about not making mistakes. And when you're playing AD carry, obviously, when you're playing ADC, it's more important that you don't make mistakes. The other roles can kind of make mistakes and get away with it. ADC needs to make sure that they're on point most of the time. So Ashe has died like that a couple of times, and it obviously threw a lot of gold back to us. You know? Her being out of position obviously means that things can run her down. It doesn't even have to be fed. A Zed that's behind can still one-shot an ADC. So it's very important that you do play properly and you sit right. That right there ended the game, and we ended up winning, even though we shouldn't have. Right? Because we are super behind. Our bot lane was doing horrible. Nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wanted to play properly. And we eventually came back. Why? Because they did a horrible job at bleeding us out, making sure we couldn't get anything. And they did a horrible job in terms of like minimizing their mistakes. They made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And they didn't bleed us out. They didn't make sure that we couldn't get anything. So I'm just going to go over those key points again so that it wasn't glossed over. Right here, we know that our bot lane is super strong, so the odds of the enemies actually getting Dragon is very, very slim unless they solo. Why? Because I'm 1-0, our jungler's 4-0, you know, like they have a Zeri support. It ain't happening. So as a support or a mid laner, I need to call Rift Herald so that way we can get that bad boy. Because we trade, it is what it is. And now we have it on a timer, right? They both take 5 minutes to come back on the map. So now we have a timer. I believe it's 5 minutes, Metro. No, it's Rift is 6 minutes. Oh, mama. I've been wrong all my life. I'm pretty sure that's a change. Maybe? But anywho, now it's on a timer where they're kind of stagnating each other a little bit. So it's kind of like, you know, you got to give one to give the other. It's going to be like, he can't get both is basically what I'm saying. And that's hard to do. It's hard to not give up one of them because you can't be on both sides of the map at the same time. No matter who you are, no matter what role you are, it's just not happening. So because he gave up that Rift Herald, like I said, it ended up in that position. So let's go back to the next objective. We're going to fast forward a little bit into the next objective. So we know Dragon's coming up, right? Our whole entire team should be bot side. Nobody pinged Dragon, and so we get a free Dragon for it. Because we were trying to fight and do all this extra stuff top lane, and we just didn't call the drag. So we were able to get it. It wouldn't have, I didn't even try to fight. Honestly, they tried to fight themselves, and I just ran them down. Victor did a really good job there before dying, because we wouldn't have got these kills without him. He did a really good job there. But that didn't have to happen. They could have got the dragon. I was not about to fight that. I left. But because you made a mistake to fight when you didn't have to, it ended up like that. And again, when you're already fed, when you're already ahead as a team, you can't get much more ahead than ahead, right? If you come in first place doing anything, how do you get first place plus? There's no such thing. If you're already first, the thing you need to do is you need to keep first, right? You need to hold on to first. It's not about doing better than first. It's about I need to stay in the lead and keep that first. How do I do that? I need not make mistakes. If I'm running, I can't trip, right? I need to pace myself. If I'm driving, I need to make sure that I'm shifting my gear. Whatever you're doing in life, if you are first place, you know how to keep it. You know how to hold it, right? You have to keep maintaining it. What happens when you don't do that and you don't think about how you got your lead in the first place? You're going to end up losing it because someone, I guess, better than you is going to be able to know what to do to get it from you, right? It's all about keeping that pace. So the main two things we need to learn from this video is to bleed out your opponent. When you are ahead, bleed out the team, not just your enemy opponent. So like if I'm Ashe, bleeding out Draven and killing him over and over and over again isn't going to win us the game. I need to bleed out the entire team. I need to rotate mid, maybe get that tower. I need to make sure that I get that Rift Herald. It's just an example. And the second thing is minimizing mistakes. If I'm the jungler, I need to make sure that I'm calling every single bear or dragon or Rift Herald or whatever and making sure that he's not getting any of them. If I'm the top laner, I need to make sure that I'm rotating to these fights for these objectives. Mid lane's the same thing, obviously. ADC, if I'm, the AD carry, I need to make sure that I'm positioning well and winning every single team fight that I can. As a support, again, make sure that I'm rotating to these fights. Make sure that I'm rotating to these dragons and barons and make sure that we're winning them. So I hope this video helped you. Hope it wasn't too much of a rant. I just want to do my best to try to help you guys minimize your mistakes and try to help you guys win more games. This is definitely a how to not throw guide. I hope, like I said, it did help. I know I talked a lot in it, but if you made it this far, good job. Thanks for watching all the way to here. But it's very important that you try to take this information and move it to your next game, and your next game, and your next game when you have a lead, right? Another example before I go, bleeding a top laner or a laner in general, what you could do is you could shove the wave, and before taking the tower, let the tower kill the minions. It's a good way to bleed out a top laner. Another one would be to let it hit the tower a couple times while you're proxying the wave, right? Because if the laner is dead, and even though the tower's going to break, if you just proxy the wave, and you don't break the tower yet, but it literally takes 2 to 3 waves, it's huge, because if you break the tower and they get the 2 to 3 waves, you're not bleeding them out, right? Bleeding people out is the key. Bleed them out. How can I take everything? How can I make your life miserable right now? Dude, you can't get levels, you can't get gold, you can't get nothing. How can I make sure that happens? You'll win every single game that you have a lead in if you can pull that off. I promise you. So again, I hope this helped. Got any questions, let me know. Again, I am doing a trial thing on my site. If you guys are interested in a trial session, make sure you go to my site, coachblakely.com. If you're interested in a session in general, just book a regular session. But if you want to test it out to see if it's something for you, something that you can learn from, something that might benefit you, feel free to do that. Like I said, if you're serious about ranked, go ahead and do the trial. If you're not serious about ranked and you just want to do it for basically, excuse my French, but shits and giggles, it's probably not something for you. Don't waste your time. Don't waste my time. Be serious about it and actually be interested in improving your play and getting better. And try to take it like that so you can try to get as much as possible out of it to see if it's something for you. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, late. Have a good rest of your day or night, and I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for approaching this like a coach.